Welcome to the story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support me. Tommy clutched the weathered map in his hands, the parchment crinkling under his grip. The sound of crashing waves echoed in the distance as the salty breeze played with his hair. The map had washed ashore earlier that morning, tangled in seaweed, and he had snatched it up before anyone else could see it. Now standing at the mouth of a hidden cave with his younger sister Lucy and their friend Benji by his side, the mystery of the map was about to unfold. "Are you sure this is it?" Lucy asked, squinting at the dark cave entrance. Her blonde hair shimmered under the dappled sunlight filtering through the trees. "I'm sure," Tommy replied, his voice steady with excitement. "Look at the map. The cave entrance is marked right here." Benji shuffled his feet nervously, glancing between his friends and the cave. "This seems dangerous. What if there's something in there?" "There won't be," Tommy reassured him. "It's just an old cave. We've been through plenty of those before." With a determined step, Tommy led the way inside. The air grew cooler as they ventured deeper, the light from outside fading into darkness. Their footsteps echoed softly, mingling with the faint sound of dripping water. Lucy tugged on Tommy's sleeve. "Do you think this is real? The map, the cave, all of it?" Tommy grinned. "We were about to find out." The tunnel widened, and they found themselves in a large cavern. Sunlight streamed through cracks in the ceiling, casting beams of light onto something that took their breath away. A ship, but not just any ship, a massive vessel, gleaming with age, but still intact. Its hull was carved with intricate designs, and its sails, though tattered, hung proudly from towering masts. The ship was nestled in the cave as if waiting for them, and it was floating, though not on water. The ship hovered just above the ground, suspended by some unseen force. "No way," Lucy whispered, her eyes wide with awe. Benji's mouth hung open as he gaped at the ship. How was it flying? Tommy took a step forward, feeling the ground vibrate under his feet. His heart raced. This is it. The sky ship. Before they could take another step, the ship groaned to life. The wood creaked, and the sails fluttered as if caught by a phantom wind. A deep, gravelly voice boomed from the deck above them. "Who dares board the cursed skyship of Captain Morgan?" The children froze as a figure appeared at the ship's helm. He was tall and broad-shouldered, with a tattered pirate's coat and a hat tipped low over his weathered face. His eyes glowed with an eerie light, and his voice carried the weight of centuries. Tommy swallowed hard. We didn't mean to board your ship, sir. We just found the map." The pirate captain's eyes narrowed, his gaze flicking to the map in Tommy's hand. "The map? Hey, so you've found it at last. And it seems fate has brought you here." "Fate?" Lucy asked, her voice trembling slightly. "Aye, fate." Captain Morgan descended the steps from the helm, his boots thudding heavily on the deck. "This ship has been bound to the earth for centuries, cursed by the skies themselves, and now it seems you've come to break that curse." Tommy's heart pounded in his chest. "A curse?" The captain nodded grimly. "Aye, curse I am, along with this ship to forever sail the skies, but never reach the treasure that can set us free. Only those pure of heart can help me find it, and that is where you come in." Lucy stepped forward cautiously. "What kind of treasure?" "The kind that can lift the curse," Captain Morgan replied. "Gold and jewels, AI, but also something more. Something that has the power to break the bonds that tie me to this ship." Benji, still standing a few steps back, shook his head. "This sounds really dangerous. Maybe we should just go home." Tommy turned to him, his eyes shining with excitement. "Don't you see, Benji? This is the adventure of a lifetime. We could be the ones to break the curse and sail the sky." Lucy looked between her brother and the pirate captain, her curiosity growing. "How do we help?" Captain Morgan's lips curled into a grin, revealing a row of sharp yellow teeth. "You help by joining my crew together. We'll sail to the Sky Kingdom and beyond, searching for the treasure hidden in the cloud." Tommy didn't hesitate. "We're in it." Benji opened his mouth to protest, but before he could say anything, the ship rumbled again. The ropes and sails snapped into place, and the sky ship lifted higher off the ground, hovering above the cavern floor. "Then let us be off." Captain Morgan bellowed the skies away. The sky ship soared through the clouds, its tattered sails billowing in the wind as it ascended higher and higher. Tommy stood at the bow, gripping the railing as the world below shrank into a distant blur. The ship creaked and groaned, but it was steady, and the wind whipped through his hair, filling him with a sense of exhilaration he had never felt before. "This is amazing," Lucy said, joining him at the railing. "I can't believe we could fly." Tommy grinned. I told you this would be worth it. Benji, on the other hand, was pale and clutching the mast for dear life. I think I am going to be sick. Captain Morgan laughed heartily from the helm. Don't you worry, Lip. You will get your sea legs, or should I say sky legs, soon enough. As they sailed higher, the clouds parted to reveal a vast expanse of open sky. In the distance, they could see a shimmering city floating among the clouds, the Sky Kingdom. There it is, Captain Morgan said, his voice filled with awe. The Sky Kingdom, home to treasures untold and the first clue to breaking the curse. Tommy's eyes widened. We ran really going there? Aye, the captain replied, but be warned the Sky Kingdom is ruled by powerful forces. We'll need to tread carefully if we hope to find what we were looking for. As the ship drew closer to the kingdom, a sudden gust of wind shook the vessel. Tommy grabbed the railing to steady himself as the sky ship swayed. Look out, Lucy shouted, pointing to the sky. A massive shadow loomed overhead, blocking out the sun. Tommy squinted, his heart pounding. A giant flying creature, its wingspan stretching across the sky, swooped down toward them. It had the body of a bird but the head of a lion, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. What is that? Benji cried, his voice trembling. A sky beast. Captain Morgan growled, drawing his sword. They guard the kingdom. We'll have to fight our way through. The beast let out a deafening roar, his talons outstretched as it dove toward the ship. Tommy Sars raced as he scrambled for cover, pulling Lucy down with him. Captain Morgan raised his sword, shouting commands to the crew, though his crew now consisted only of 3 children. Brace yourself. The sky beast swooped in, its talons scraping against the deck as it tried to snatch one of them. Tommy barely had time to react before Captain Morgan lunged forward, his sword clashing with the beast's eye-sharp claw. Sparks flew as metal met flesh, and the creature roared in fury, its eyes blazing. Lucy scrambled to her feet, looking around frantically. Tommy, we need to help. Tommy's mind raced. What could they possibly do against such a creature? But then his eyes landed on a rope hanging from the ship's mast. An idea sparked in his mind. Lucy, grab that rope, we can trap it. Without hesitation, Lucy dashed across the deck, grabbing the rope and tossing one end to Tommy. They quickly tied the rope around the mast, creating a makeshift snare. Now, Tommy shouted as the sky beast swooped in for another attack. Together they pulled the rope tight, and the creature flew straight into the trap. The rope tangled around its wings, and the beast let out a furious roar as it struggled to free itself. Captain Morgan wasted no time with a swift strike of his sword. He drove the beast back, forcing it to retreat into the cloud. The ship shook as the beast's shadow disappeared into the distance. Tommy collapsed onto the deck, his heart still racing. We did it. We actually did it. Captain Morgan sheathed his sword, a proud grin spreading across his face. Well done, crew. You have just survived your first encounter with the sky beast. Benji peeked out from behind the mast, still trembling. Is it gone? For now, Captain Morgan replied, but we want to be so lucky next time. The beasts are only the beginning. The Sky Kingdom holds far greater danger. Tommy stood, his legs still shaky, but his determination stronger than ever. We'll be ready. Whatever. Fall waiting for us. We can handle it. The sky ship floated closer to the Sky Kingdom, the shimmering city becoming clearer as they passed through the thinning cloud. Towers and spires jutted out from a massive floating landmass, connected by delicate bridges and adorned with banners that fluttered in the high wind. Despite the beauty of the kingdom, there was a tension in the air. Tommy felt it in the pit of his stomach, a gnawing sense that they were about to step into something much larger and more dangerous than they'd expected. Captain Morgan guided the ship toward a platform where several other smaller vessels were docked. As they landed, a group of guards clad in silver armor approached, their faces hidden behind helmets shaped like the heads of eagles. Their leader stepped forward, his voice cold and commanding. What business does a cursed pirate have in the Sky Kingdom? His gaze moved from Captain Morgan to the children, suspicion gleaming in his eye. Morgan held his head high, his gruff voice steady. I seek an audience with Princess Aria. The curse upon my ship can be broken, and your kingdom may be the key. The guards exchanged glances, their leader frowning. Princess Aria is not in the habit of granting audiences to pirates. But if what you say is true, perhaps she will hear your plea. Follow us. Tommy glanced at his sister and Benji, their faces filled with a mixture of awe and uncertainty. The city around them was breathtaking, with streets made of gleaming crystal and flying creatures soaring overhead, but the cold reception from the guards reminded him that they were far from safe. He couldn't shake the feeling that danger lurked just beneath the surface of this magnificent place. The guards led them through winding streets to a grand palace at the heart of the kingdom. As they entered, the children marveled at the towering statues of winged beings, their eyes glowing faintly as if watching the newcomer. The air inside the palace was cool and filled with the faint scent of something sweet and floral. Princess Arya awaited them in a vast hall seated on a throne made of polished silver and draped in flowing robes that shimmered like the night sky. Her eyes were bright and sharp, and she regarded them with an intensity that made Tommy feel as though she could see right through him. So she said, her voice melodic but firm, "The cursed pirate and his newfound crew have come seeking my aid. I must admit, I am curious." Captain Morgan stepped forward, bowing slightly. "Your Highness, I seek the treasure that can break the curse upon my ship and set my soul free. The first clue to its location lies within your kingdom." Arya's gaze shifted to the children, her expression unreadable. "And what of these young ones? What role do they play in this quest?" "They are pure of heart," Morgan replied. "Their courage and strength are the key to unlocking the treasure." Arya studied them for a long moment before nodding. "Very well. I will help you, but know this: many have sought this treasure and none have returned. The path ahead is fraught with peril, and your enemies grow stronger by the day." Tommy's heart sank at her words. Captain Flint was still out there, and the sky beasts were only one of the dangers they faced. But he refused to let fear take hold. They had come this far, and there was no turning back now. Princess Arya rose from her throne, her robe swirling around her as she walked toward them. "There is an ancient artifact in the heart of the Sky Kingdom, hidden in the Temple of Wind. It is said to be the key to finding the treasure you seek. However, the temple is protected by powerful magic, and only those who prove themselves worthy may enter." "We'll do whatever it takes," Tommy said, stepping forward with determination. Arya smiled faintly, though there was a sadness in her eye. "Very well, but be warned, once you enter the temple, the trials you face will test more than just your strength. They will test your hearts, your minds, and your very soul." With that, she summoned a guard who escorted them out of the palace and toward the Temple of Wind. As they walked, Tommy felt the weight of Arya's warning settle over him. What kinds of trials would they face, and were they truly ready? The temple loomed ahead, its massive stone doors carved with intricate patterns of swirling wind and sky. The guard bowed before leaving them at the entrance, and Captain Morgan turned to his young crew. "This is it," he said, his voice low but filled with resolve. "What lies beyond those doors will determine whether we succeed or fail." Lucy took a deep breath, standing beside her brother. "We'll be ready." Benji, though still pale, nodded. I want to let you down." Tommy stepped forward, pushing open the heavy doors with a grunt. The moment they stepped inside, a powerful gust of wind swept through the temple, pulling the doors shut behind them with a deafening boom. The air was thick with magic, and the walls seemed to shimmer and shift as though they were alive. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet rumbled, and the temple floor split into 3 separate paths, each leading in a different direction. Tommy glanced at his friends, uncertainty gathering in him. "We were being split up," Captain Morgan growled, his face grim. "These are the trials Arya spoke of. Each of us must face our own path." Tommy's stomach churned, but he nodded. "Then let us do this. We'll meet back here. Once we've passed the trial." The group exchanged determined glances before each taking their own path. Tommy's path led him down a long, winding corridor, the walls narrowing as he went deeper into the temple. The air grew colder, and his breath came in short puffs as he pressed on. The corridor eventually opened into a large chamber, and at its center stood a glowing pedestal. On top of it rested a small, ornate box. As Tommy approached the pedestal, a voice echoed through the chamber, deep and resonant. "What is it you seek, young one?" Tommy froze, his heart pounding. "I am here to help Captain Morgan break his curse." "And why do you wish to help him?" Tommy swallowed hard because it seemed the right thing to do. He deserves to be free, and we've come too far to turn back now. The voice hummed in approval. "A noble reason, but do you truly understand the cost of such a quest? The treasure you seek requires great sacrifice." Tommy hesitated. What did that mean? I don't take care about treasure. I just want to help my friend. The voice was silent for a moment before speaking again. "Then take the box. It will guide you to the next step in your journey." Tommy approached the pedestal, his hands trembling as he reached for the box. The moment his fingers touched it, a surge of warmth spread through him and the chamber dissolved into a blinding light. When the light faded, Tommy found himself back at the entrance of the temple. Lucy and Benji stood nearby, looking equally dazed but unharmed. "You made it," Lucy exclaimed, running to hug him. Tommy grinned. "You too." Captain Morgan stood nearby, his arms crossed as he watched them. "Yeah, you've passed the first trial, but we're not done yet." Tommy held up the box. "This is what I found." Morgan's eyes gleamed with recognition. "That's it. The next piece of the puzzle." Before they could celebrate, the sound of flapping wings echoed overhead. Tommy looked up just in time to see a dark shape descending from the sky. Captain Flint's ship hovered above them, its shadow stretching across the temple ground. Well, Flintstone's voice called from above. "Looks like I've found the treasure hunters, and here I thought you'd be long gone by now, Morgan." Captain Morgan's face hardened. "You will never have the treasure, Flint." Flint's laughter echoed across the temple. "We'll see about that, boys. Prepare to attack." Tommy's heart raced as Flint's crew descended on ropes, weapons drawn. He and his friends barely had time to react before they were caught in the midst of battle. Flint's men surrounded them, and it was clear they were outnumbered. But Tommy refused to give up. "We can fight them off," he shouted, grabbing a makeshift weapon from the ship. And together they defended themselves against Flint's. The battle was fierce, and for a moment it seemed as though they might lose. But then out of the clouds, a familiar roar echoed across the sky. Sky beasts, massive winged creatures they had encountered before, descended on the battlefield, their talons and wings tearing through Flint's ally crew. Tommy watched in awe as the creatures turned the tide of battle, their power unmatched. Flint's crew scrambled to retreat, and within moments the attack was over. Captain Morgan turned to the children, his face filled with gratitude. "You've done it. You've passed the final test." Tommy smiled, his heart swelling with pride. They had done it. They had faced the trials, fought off their enemies, and proven their worth. But the adventure wasn't over yet. Morgan glanced at the box, and Tommy said, "Now we must find the treasure." As they prepared to embark on the next leg of their journey, Tommy couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement and anticipation. The curse was close to being broken, and together they would find the treasure that would change their lives forever.